This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and far. All right, let's talk about it. Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. I'm not going to name call them. I've done that enough. I'm going to just give it to you guys in simple boxing science. This fight is not going to happen. You see, they did all of this hoopla to get you guys going. Everybody like la cucarachas, y yo no puedo caminar. La cucarachas, y yo no puedo caminar. You guys act like scattering cockroaches. You got the press. You said, oh, we got to cover this. If boxing community fan bases wanted to stand on something, boxing community fan bases would say, you know what? We're not covering this shit. Fuck this. This guy right here, Devin Haney, and this guy right here, Teofimo Lopez, all they doing is capping. Now, black boxing community fan bases are going to stand with Devin Haney. Other boxing community fan bases, I can't say Mexican, but you can throw Mexican in the motherfucker. Anybody that's not black is going to be with Teofimo Lopez. That's just the way the shit rolls. This fight right here between these two guys, to me, is evenly matched. If Devin Haney is with Floyd, Devin Haney has the edge. But Devin Haney's not with Floyd. So because of that, I already know. I already saw a mile away. Okay, he's not with Floyd. He's not bending the proverbial fucking knee. He's not kissing the ring while he's at it. He's basically having his Deontay Wilder moment. He's basically being prideful. See, there's the problem with the new generation boxers. They're prideful. Floyd was sitting there sparring with Pernell Whitaker. There was no pride involved in that. Floyd wanted to prove that he was greatness personification that can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. Zab Judah was right there too with Pernell Whitaker. They were going rounds with Pernell Whitaker, learning. This is what's supposed to happen from generation to generation in boxing. You're supposed to be in there with the guy that was in there before you, that was the predominant guy, so that you can learn. Notice Floyd was with Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker was the premier welterweight. And Floyd outdid his ass. And that's how everybody understood that Floyd was just on another level. But Floyd was in there with him consistently, religiously. Floyd didn't give that up. Floyd stayed with this guy, and Floyd made sure that he unctioned himself up under this guy. Got to give Floyd credit for that, because Floyd realized it. Floyd was smart enough to pay attention to the climate, and Floyd understood that this was going to be my boxing lifeline. See, in boxing, people got to be honest with themselves. Fighters have to be honest with themselves. They have to give themselves an honest assessment of where they're at from a boxing standpoint and where they're trying to take themselves. Devin Haney has not been honest with himself. Devin Haney hasn't been giving himself honest assessments. Devin Haney hasn't basically been being real with the fact that there's a lot of chinks in the armor, man. He's got still the choppy overhand right. He does not have the power. Let's not talk about grown man strength. Since basically the Antonio Moran fight, where's his strength? Where is it? It has nowhere to be found. Since he threw that choppy overhand right, where is the knockouts? Wasn't against Alfredo Santiago. That's when he first started getting exposed. Damn sure wasn't against Eucurus Gamboa. He had the worst performance, even worse than the Chihuahua walking behind the damn ends in Terrence Bud Crawford. Well, Terrence Bud Crawford had 7 times the performance he had. I'm just going to be honest about that. Now, then he gets exposed by Jorge Linares. He gets dropped. And you want to know why he gets dropped? Because he wasn't crispier than a 3-piece from a defensive standpoint. See, in boxing, your defensive pedigree got to be on point. You got to make sure that your defensive energy is there. You got to make sure that from a defensive standpoint, you can be able to knock a motherfucker out. Problem with Devin Haney is Devin Haney's defense is his offense, and Devin Haney's offense is his defense. In boxing, we got to be honest with that. That's his pedigree. Devin Haney's defense is his offense, and Devin Haney's offense is his defense. That's how it's always been. And if Devin Haney wants to be honest with himself, and Devin Haney doesn't want to lie, and Devin Haney wants to tell the truth from a boxing standpoint, that's what Devin Haney has been able to do and unction. But Devin Haney acts as if Devin Haney doesn't understand what he's about. Devin Haney has basically been a fighter who has put himself in what we call a precarious situation. And you want to know what the precarious situation is for Devin Haney? Devin Haney doesn't understand his boxing lifeline. See, from a boxing standpoint, boxers have to understand their lifeline. They have to understand what they bring to the table. Boxers have to understand that when it's all said and done, from a boxing standpoint, they can't just sit there and bullshit and fuck shit. That's what Devin Haney's been doing. Devin Haney's been bullshitting and fuck shitting. Because if you got a guy like Floyd that you can call anytime, a guy like Floyd that you can unction at any moment, a guy like Floyd that you can basically go to, why not go to him? Why not use him? Why not gird up thy loins so that Floyd can get you where Floyd need to get you at? It's called Bill Haney. That's what it's called. So Devin Haney hasn't developed. He's been at the same level that he's been at since the Alfredo Santiago fight. I'm being honest with you guys. I gotta call a spade a spade. I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it a buck, and I gotta keep it 1,000. Why do you think I've been so critical of him? Especially for months in and months out. Because fighters, they have to graduate. They have to transform. Devin Haney has at least 2 more transformations in him if he's under Floyd. But he's not under Floyd. He's not bending the proverbial fucking knee. He's not kissing the ring while he's at it to Floyd Mayweather. And hence, the Deontay Wilder fate is going to find him as well too. Because Devin Haney doesn't fucking get it. See, when you got a guy who is a master at what he does, and he's giving you nothing but master virtuoso, go listen to the Mexican community fan bases. The level of respect they have for Floyd. They call Floyd the great Mayweather, dog. That should tell you fucking something. The respect they have for Tank. Because they know Tank taking out all these fucking Mexicans. That's why they can't stand his ass. See, you guys have to put 2 and 2 together, man. You guys have to be smart here. And you guys got to sit here and watch things for what the fuck they are. From a boxing standpoint, Floyd is the guy. And if Devin Haney is smart, he falls himself completely and utterly up under Floyd. We're not talking about no Mickey Bay. Who the fuck is Mickey Bay? Mickey Bay is a fighter that's lost fucking fights. Mickey Bay is a guy who basically didn't get over the hump. Mickey Bay is a guy who's not, is he undefeated? Are we talking about him as a generational talent? It's other things that make you say, It's other things that make you say, I've heard boxing aficionados say, but he got Mickey Bay. Mickey Bay's up on the Floyd. Mickey Bay's not Floyd. I don't care if Mickey Bay learned all of the techniques and all of this and all of that. Mickey Bay ain't Floyd Mayweather. So let's stop the bullshit. There's Floyd. Floyd is the ultimate gamut. And that's who Devin Haney should have been, the proverbial effing knee, and kissed the ring while he was at it up under. And then we got Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez has a loudmouth dad. His dad just runs his mouth. That's all he does. Him and his dad, they just run their mouths. They duck one opponent after the other because that's what they do. They're notorious for ducking. They will duck you left and right. When it comes to a duckage, they will fucking duck you. When it comes to ducking, a ducktails, a ducktails. There's a stranger out to find you. There's a stranger out to find you. What to do is grab on you some ducktails. They will fucking duck you. This is what we're talking about here, man. These guys are ducks. They always ducking quality opposition. They're always ducking quality opponents. They're always ducking quality fights. And you want to know why they're always doing this shit? You want me to explain this shit to you guys? From a boxing standpoint, I'm going to explain it to you guys why this is happening the way it's fucking happening. Because when it's all said and done, Devin fucking Haney and Teofimo Lopez are not what you guys think that they are. They're not the fighters that you guys think that they are. Teofimo Lopez is a hype job. Because Teofimo Lopez has all of the belts. If Teofimo Lopez was takeover like he said he was, he should be taking over the lightweight division. Let me say it again. If he's takeover like he says he is, he should be taking over the lightweight division. Why hasn't he taken over the damn division? See, these are questions boxing fans fail to answer. Why hasn't Teofimo Lopez taken on quality opposition after Vasily Lomachenko? Why has he been resting on his laurels? Y'all gotta tell me, man, this young generation, this young crop, outside of Shakur Stevenson, they're really disappointing as fuck. If it ain't for Gervonta Tank Davis saving these motherfuckers, they're disappointing as fuck. They've turned the lightweight division into literal shit. The lightweight division has lost prestige. It's lost allure. It's lost anything that gives you anything of reminiscence. And you want to know why? Because these guys, from a boxing standpoint, are not what you think that they are. Teofimo Lopez Sr. said that he was going to retire from training if his son didn't get the knockout from Vasily Lomachenko. I have been waiting for that retirement. Where is that fucking retirement? Now people say trainers and boxers, they say stuff all the time. This man promised. This man said, my son, I put everything on it. When somebody says that, they're not playing. They're for real. Like the terms we say in the hood, they dead ass. He was dead ass fucking serious when he said that. So he should be dead ass fucking serious to retire. Because his son couldn't get Vasily Lomachenko out of there in 6 rounds. He said my son will get his ass out of there in 6. Now people say that was for marketing. Yes, there have been people that say this shit for marketing purposes. There have been people that have run their mouths from a boxing standpoint to basically give the illusion, give the impression, give basically the conversation that they're just pushing a fight. But that fight didn't need him to push it. That fight was already pushing it itself because it was in a climate of pandemic. People were starving for a fight that gave a similitude, that gave a reminiscence, that gave a pedigree, and that gave a decree of it being something that was going to be a big fight. People wanted that shit. People were thriving for it. People were pushing for it. People were yearning for it. People wanted to see it. So they didn't need this hype job to do what he was doing. See, I call a spade here, man. I keep it real, I keep it a buck, and I keep it 1,000. What you guys are seeing is nothing but lies that are coming from the Lopez family. They just continuously lie. They're notorious for fucking lying. Let's be honest here. That's all they've been doing. They've been deluding your mind. They've been lying to you. They've been telling you shit that don't make sense. They've been telling you all kinds of stuff. They've been basically deluding your brain, and they've been basically telling you what they want you to hear and not the actual facts. Because the actual facts, if we're being honest with ourselves and we're telling the truth, is Teofimo Lopez is a guy who's a duck. This man has all these belts. You got to look at the Lopez family. They were the first ones willing to accept the French fry belt. They accept that thing with open heart. Man, they accepted it faster than anybody else. If he's a true champion, like everybody says that he is, why is he sitting there willingly taking a belt that way? See, these are the questions boxing fans don't like to answer. But I'm going to answer them. It's because these two are cappers. And all of the boxing fans ran with this, man. I didn't run with it. I was the smart enough one to see that all these two do is run their rabbit ass mouths. And they're not going to get anywhere with this. because he knows everything is a three-dimensional thinker. When you're a three-dimensional thinker, you're going to open your eyes and see what the lamest person cannot actually see. When it's all said and done, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney's not going to happen. They're doing this to push whatever next fight they're going to have. Teofimo Lopez is going to fight somebody else. Devin Haney's going to fight somebody else. And boxing fans are going to be starved of another great opportunity. Why aren't these two fighting? They have all of the belts. What the fuck are they waiting on? Devin Haney is an email champion, super WBC champion. He's not a legitimate super WBC champion because Devin Haney has not won legitimately. Devin Haney has won basically in an illegitimate fashion. So I don't give Devin Haney fucking no damn credit. When it's all said and done, that's what's happened with Devin Haney. Yeah, that's what's happened with Devin fucking Haney. I don't give Devin Haney no damn credit. Because when it's all said and done, Devin Haney is a product of what Devin Haney's been. That's what it boils down to. Devin Haney has basically propagated himself, has basically pushed himself as someone who gives you this similitude as if he's barking, but he's lacking the fullness thereof. What happened to the duck with Gary Russell Jr.? See, people don't want to touch on that shit. I'm going to touch on it, because I always touch on shit like that. What happened to Teofimo Lopez and Teofimo Lopez getting this George Kambosos fight on? It's like he's ducking George Kambosos Jr. I think it's because he feels the energy off of this guy. This guy can pull off upsets. See, we got to be honest here. What's happened to the rematch with Vasily Lomachenko? We know that was a very close fight. We know that fight, honestly, should have been a fucking draw. But you got the damn fight. Everybody told you that. You didn't win the fight definitively. Why are you not running it back? It's because fight fans can't stand Vasily Lomachenko, and they know if a rematch happens, Vasily Lomachenko picks him apart, because Vasily Lomachenko is not going to be reluctant like he was in the previous fight. Let's be honest. Vasily Lomachenko was in a highway robbery situation, and it's not going to happen. And they know it. The Lopez family knows it. We'll ride a little bit on this one. Where's the Teofimo Lopez fights with even Ryan Garcia? I mean, that's a fight that could be made. All of these guys in the lightweight division, outside of Gervonta Tank Davis, have been nothing but bullshit. And if you notice, they always call out Tank's name. You want to know why they always call out Tank's name? They call out Tank's name because Tank's name gives them publicity. Let me say it again. They call out Tank's name because Tank's name gives them publicity. Tank pushes them. Tank gets them over the hump. Tank gets them to the next level because Tank is fucking box office. It's easy to call out Tank. Look at Rolly Romero. He called out Tank. Now he's called out Tank into a rabid ass whooping. It's going to be a sideshow, man. Tank's going to knock this motherfucker out all because this dude thinks that he could run his mouth like the Teofimo Lopez of the world. At least Teofimo Lopez got more skills than this guy. Even though Tank gonna knock his ass out, it'll be a little harder. Tank got to work a little bit more before he get that knockout. So Teofimo Lopez could run his mouth, but Rolly Romero, last time I checked, he ain't no fucking Teofimo Lopez. He's Roly fucking Poly, or Rolly fucking Polly, however you want to fucking call it. When it's all said and done, this is what the lightweight division do. They cap. And what we just saw over the weekend is the two biggest cappers do what they do best. Cap, cap, cap. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat telefashion. I keeps the foot on the what? Geeks. I keeps the foot on the what? Geeks. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.